guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to have a play around today. You may have seen my recent video where I was using up some of those canvases that, you know, I'd had for a long time and they were on my shelf. So what I have done is I've taken one of the smaller canvases and I've taken it off of the, you know, the canvas board. Not made a very good job of it, I have to say, but you know, that's me. So I'm just going to tidy it up here, and what I thought we could do is basically have a go at decorating up a journal cover canvas style. So very similar to how we made the canvases, but using the canvas and using the sort of similar sort of methods to make our journal cover. So what I have done is I've just taken some of the Amazon packaging here, and I thought that we would use this and, you know, cover it. Now, obviously this canvas is not big enough to cover the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is just cover what will be essentially the front cover with the canvas. And then I will obviously cover the rest with, you know, probably paper or, you know, maybe a mixture of paper and fabric or something. So what I'm going to do to start with is obviously cover the, you know, where it's going to be folding, like the spine part, with the Tyvek. So I need to actually check where is the spine. So, oh, it's got a massive natural sort of spine there. So, okay. So, right. So I'm just going to cover that with this Tyvek. Oh, it's getting really hot up here already. I've just filmed another video and yeah, so it's now getting really hot because I've had the lights on for a while, and it's a really hot day today. So I know I always say this, but you know, by the time I upload this video it might be freezing here in the UK. So it's only because I'm filming ahead. It's not because I'm lying or because I'm in just some really you know, like hotspot part of the country. No, it's just I film ahead. So yeah, if it's a horrible day now, I apologise for you know, rubbing your nose in it, making it sound like it's really lovely here. The chances are, if it's horrible where you are in the UK, it's horrible where I am too. So I'm just going to trim this Tyvek off. Now I like to try and keep separate scissors for this, you know, because I have discovered that obviously those Tyvek strips, you know, the Tyvek tape, it's super sticky, which I mean of course is fantastic, but it really does gunk up your scissors. So I just use those smaller sets from the IKEA sets because, you know, generally I don't really use those. Well, I use them in the kitchen, but you know, I obviously end up with quite a few, so I just keep a spare pair now to use for the Tyvek. So I'm now covered in it. Right. Now I actually put my bone folder back in the pot, so let me just get that out. So I'm just going to kind of burnish this down like that, and then again on here, which is a bit annoying because it's actually gone right where that Tyvek, you know, folds over. So it's not the best plan really, but never mind. Okay, right. So that's that. Now what I'm going to do, and you know, I haven't done this before, so this may work, it may not work, but you know, let's just play and have a go. It, you know, it might be awful, it might be okay. We don't know until we try. So all I'm going to do is take my canvas and I'm going to glue it onto the cardboard. Now you can probably see, obviously what's happened is, you know, where it's kind of been triangles at the corner, I'm going to have to go over slightly, if that makes sense, like that, so that, you know, I get it. Actually, I cut that one straight. Let me just right, I'm going to cut this down. I just thought it would be quite fun to you know, to play around with the canvas and see if we could make you know, a cover in quite an arty sort of style, like the canvases that we made. So yeah, I mean, as I say, this, you know, may work. It may be a horrible failure, but we don't know until we try, do we? So right, so what I'm going to do is apply my glue like all over, basically up to sort of the edge of that well, that Tyvek really. So I've got my brand new Fabri-Tac, which Laura so kindly gifted me. So let me just have a look. I've never had one of these big huge bottles before, so yeah, feeling very spoilt here. Oops. Okay, right, I wonder if I need to, has that got a hole in it? I can't tell whether it has or not now. Oops, hold on. Maybe I need to do something with the end. Perhaps I need to put a hole in the end. So hold on. Right, so I'm just running a good layer of the glue all around where that canvas is going to go. Now this glue does stick, you know, dry quite quickly, so I need to move pretty quickly. So I'm going to just pop it down here. Now I want this to be up to like the edge, basically, kind of where it's roughly going to go. So yep, now mind your ears, this is going to be horrible noise. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so horrible noise there, I'm afraid, but I mean, obviously, because that canvas is you know, what's the word, rigidy, you know, rigidy, so it's going to make a horrible noise, I'm afraid. But okay, I want to make sure it's, you know, really stuck down. And as I say, you know, this may not work at all. It may be just the most horrible effect going, but we'll give it a try. So again, just now finish off where I want the rest of the canvas to go. So like that. Okie dokie. And right the way down. Like that. And again, I'm just going to, sorry about this, take the card, and I'm going to try and do it over the wipe. Maybe that will ease it slightly. I don't know. Maybe not. Well, it's maybe a little bit better. So, okay. Now here, I've just got that little bit here. So I'm just going to run a little tiny bit of glue down here as well. Just so as it's, you know, stuck right to that edge. Okay. Right, so hoping that my canvas is now on there. Okie dokie. Right. Oh, I'm very messy already, and I've literally only just that second started the video not 5 minutes ago, so this doesn't really bode well, does it, for a great video. Right, hold on. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just turn my card over and obviously trim around, you know, the excess where I don't need it, like that. Okay, and then on this side as well. Okay, and then just this little bit along the bottom. You know, and obviously I can tidy this up properly in a minute. I'm just getting it straighter at the moment. So there we go. Right, let's get rid of all these bits now. Okay, right. So you can see, I mean, I've got a little bit of a gap there. It doesn't really bother me because, you know, to be honest, if I've got gaps and things anywhere, I can just cover that up, you know, with some lace or something like that. So, you know, it's not a problem. Now, what I'm more worried is, you know, is this actually going to stick down? So I'm hoping it is, but, you know, like I say, I haven't ever tried this before, so who knows? Now, what I'm going to do here is just, you know, burnish it down. So again, let me just grab that wipe in so the noise is hopefully not quite so hideous. Like that. Okay. So that's that one. And then here again, just squash that down. Oops. Like that. Okay. So I probably need a little bit more glue on there, but that's fine. I can, you know, I can sort that out. Okay, right. That's number one in the saga. Right. Perhaps I should leave that bent round. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure which way is best to do this, to be honest. Yeah, I probably should have, you know, given this a practice run first, but never mind. You know what it's like. You just want to come on and do something, and then before you know it, you're doing it, and you haven't really done a practice run of any kind. Well, that's me anyway. So yeah. Right. What I'm going to do, I think, is just going to put some paper down here so that I can paint this up. So I'm going to paint this up with, I've got some gesso here, and I've got this kind of ivory type colour, and I also have this wild violet which looks very, very bright, and I may really strongly regret doing this. So let's just put, roll some gesso on first. Oh, I've got this horrible feeling this is just going to be like a hideous disaster, but we'll see. So we just put this all over. Like that. Okay. Oh, I hope that's going to wipe off my lovely mat. Oh no, it's like all over it. Okay, so I probably should just leave this for a few seconds now for it to dry, and then we will come back and obviously put on some other coats. Okay, so that's dryish now, so hopefully it's, you know, it's dryish to work with. So let me just dab my brush off. I have cleaned my desk. I couldn't bear it. It was like, oh no, I don't want to spoil my mat. I'm pretty sure that it would have come off because this mat seems like unbelievably resistant, or resilient. But yeah, it was obviously a present, and I just love it so much. I didn't want to spoil it. So yeah, I did give my desk a wipe. So I'm going to now put on some other colours, and I did chicken out of this one a little bit. I just thought, oh, I'm not sure whether I can quite, you know, be that brave. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for this lilac instead. It's actually called iris, but but it looks lilac to me. So I'm going to mix it in with this, and then I might just have a bit of that sort of bright just maybe on the edges if I'm feeling brave. Who knows, I might not feel that brave, but that's the plan. So I'm just going to go around this with my paint, and to be honest, that paint's just dominating the entire thing. So at the moment I'm not really getting much of anything other than that sort of ivory colour, but so who knows, I might actually need to have that darker, because maybe otherwise it's not going to pick up anything. So let me just wipe a little bit of this off. Oops. Again, I mean, this is not my thing at all, doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm probably using very strange methods, and you know, no doubt a lot of you have probably done much more of this kind of stuff than me, but you know, I mean, just because we don't normally do these types of things, it doesn't mean we can't do them, does it? So yeah, you know, I mean, hopefully, if nothing else, this is just going to encourage people to give things a try. You know, if you've not tried things before, don't be put off, because you know, that's how we learn, isn't it? And you know, that's how we have fun, isn't it? By just experimenting. So, right, that's those. Now, this is the bright one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dab this down on this white paper. I hope I'm in frame here. So, oops. Can you see that colour? If I just move over slightly, it's really bright, isn't it? So just going to dab that off slightly. Oh gosh. I mean, it is very bright. There's no two ways about it. But, you know, if we just kind of dab it a little bit. And again, you know, I mean, I'm using my finger here, and I'm not saying that that's like a, you know, a great method or anything else. I mean, that's just how I'm doing it today. You know, like I say, I mean, I don't necessarily have all the right equipment, or certainly I don't have the right know-how for all of this kind of stuff. But, you know, it's not about that. It's just about having a nice time, isn't it? So, you know, to be honest, who cares how you get there? So long as what you produce, actually, then you're happy with in the end. That's good enough, isn't it? Then, so I might just go right down this whole edge, actually, with some more of this colour. Because I haven't decided yet what I'm going to be putting on this. I mean, obviously we're doing it canvas style, like we did the canvases the other day. So, you know, I haven't quite got a picture in my head of how this is going to be yet. So, you know, but we might just want a bit more of the purple. Right, so I'm going to stop the camera again, and I'm just going to dry that a little bit off with my heat tool. So, yeah, I will be back. Right then, so my cover is dryish. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's okay. You know, it's probably dry enough to be getting on with. And what I've done, I've torn out this little section from some children's book page. And I thought that I might have this somewhere on the cover as well. Just going to put that to one side though, because I thought, first of all, what we should do is probably cover up this section here. So I'm just going to use, again, some sheet music, because, you know, that's just really nice and large. So it's going to cover this up really, you know, really easily, which is, of course, what it's all about, isn't it? You know, keeping it nice and easy and manageable. Who wants to be doing complicated things? Nobody. So, well, certainly not me. So I'm just going to Mod Podge this down. I'll just pour the Mod Podge straight onto the cardboard. And we'll just then paste that down like that. I've had to open the window, so I really apologise if it's a little bit noisy. You know, obviously there's traffic going past and things like that. You know, we're on quite a busy road, and yeah, it's really hot up here, so I didn't really have any choice but to open the window, because it's just sweltering, and yeah, short of kind of passing out. So right, let's do that. And obviously I need just a bit more here. Oops, just dropped the Mod Podge nearly. So okay, right, and I'm trying to get it up to that canvas. And again, you know, I mean, I will probably put some sort of lace or something like that over that section. So, you know, it doesn't really matter too much, you know, whether it goes completely over it or not, because that will all be, you know, the plan is that will all be covered up. So I'm not sort of too worried. Okay, so we're just going to go up to there. Now, obviously you can see I've got a sort of ridgy type bit there. That's obviously from, you know, where it folds over. So because the canvas is quite thick, you know, it obviously, you know, again, I've never used canvas before. I didn't really know how it was going to behave, but yeah, I mean, it's quite thick. So of course, when it's open flat out, you get a sort of raised bump. But, you know, that's fine. You know, it's fine. It doesn't matter. So, right, spread my Mod Podge out, spread my paper. Hopefully it will all be nicely glued down. Gosh, I have got a lot of stuff on my desk. I really do need to get clearing. Oh, how many times have I said that? Now, I'm not worried, obviously, that I've got mess in here because, you know, of course, all of this is going to be covered up. So let's just cut this down. Now, what would be sensible probably is to actually cover the inside as well. And of course, you know, that seems very boring to me because I would like to now just get on with the decorating. But yeah, probably it would be wise, because if I end up making the cover quite lumpy and bumpy, you know, with decorating, then obviously it's going to make it a lot harder to then cover the inside. So yeah, I should probably do that, which of course is, you know, is pretty boring. So let me just wipe my mat down. Oh, getting paint all over me. I've now got it up my arm. Honestly, I don't know how it happens, but no sooner do I have paint or gesso or, well, frankly, anything, then I'm just covered in it. And yeah, that just seems to be how I roll. So, but it's quite nice because lots of comments say that that's how they roll as well. So it's nice to know I'm not alone. Okay, so I'm going to just now, I think, I will probably cover the inside with just sheet music as well, because obviously that's just, you know, I've got it here, it's handy, and you know, it's nice and neutral, so then you can just generally do anything. Once it's just covered in sheet music, you can then go to town. You know, even if I ended up covering a lot of it up, it's going to pretty much go with everything. So I'm just going to Mod Podge that down. Oops, got a big lump of the Mod Podge there. Okay, right. Again, I'm not really sure now how far I need to go along, so I will just hopefully go along further rather than not far enough, and that way I've definitely got my bases covered, if that makes sense. So like that, and then a bit more up this end, so like that. Okay, right. If I remember, I will actually speed this bit up, but I mean, my editing skills are not great, so yep, I don't know whether I will be able to do that. Who knows? Right, put the lid back on, put my brush down, get my sheet music, and let me just put it here. Okay. Again, just spread that out like that. Okay, right. So, okay. Now what I should do is probably do this section as well. I may have to go and get some more sheet music for that. So let me just trim this down. It just helps to trim it down as I go, because otherwise it gets too big to keep on the desk. Okay. Okay, let me just wipe this down, just so I don't really get bits stuck on it. Okay, obviously I will give my mat a good clean at the end. So I just need a piece for here, I think. So again, just burnish that into those creases. Just get another piece of sheet music for here. So yeah, I mean, I would say definitely a big tip really, if you're not sure of what paper you're likely to be using and you wanted to do your covers ahead of time, I mean, sheet music is always a really good option because, of course, you know, like we said, it goes with everything. So, you know, have some sheet music on hand if you can. And, you know, not only does it always go with everything, it actually looks awesome with everything. You know, it doesn't just go, it looks awesome. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Okay. Oops. And then we just trim it down here. Wow, what hideous cutting that's happened. Oh my gosh, more hideous cutting. Okay, I'm just going to round this corner now. Probably make another awful job, but just so it resembles something like that one. Okay. Right, let me again wipe off my desk. So, ooh. And just drying it really so that it's not, you know, going to be sticking my piece to the desk. Okay. Right. That was a lot of prep, wasn't it? And that's all just to be able to decorate the this part. So, okay. There's our piece. Now, we've got our spine here, there, and then this piece will kind of, you know, bend around here. And yeah, there. Like that. So you may want to at this point just press it into those creases like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, looking good. Right. Let's get back to the front. The fun part. So, okay. So this is where our midway, you know, where our spine is. So just again, press that down. I'm so sorry for that noise every time I do that. Right. Now, I was thinking, where did I put that? Okay. I was thinking this image would look quite nice on here. Shall I raise the camera up slightly? I'm just always a bit paranoid about not being quite in frame. So I'm thinking this image would look really good on here. Oops, I've now kicked that paintbrush off over and it's knocked into my cup. Don't worry, I've not got tea in there or anything, I've finished. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking kind of like there. Like that somehow. Okay. So I'll just throw that other bit in the bin. Oh gosh, I'm like covered in paint. Oh well, never mind. Right. So we want to obviously do some decorating up and things, and we're going to do a little bit of layering around. So let's just have a look and see what pieces we could layer it with. Now I've also got this napkin, which I had decoupaged this previously, but I wondered whether we could maybe have something like that somewhere. Let me just tear this out. These are those gorgeous napkins that were so kindly gifted to me by Amy, and it was amazing because I've got a whole packet of them. I know I've said before, but generally, you know, when I've bought napkins, you only ever get sort of 4 of them. So to actually have like a whole massive packet is just amazing because I can, you know, afford to be really kind of generous. So it's really brilliant. Yeah, what do we think? So I'm going to tear this down because so far this is pretty huge. Like that, so it's a bit better. Perhaps we will tear this now. mean, I'm not sure how that really goes, if I'm truthful. It maybe is a little bit strange. So I think what we'll do is ink this all up so it's less bright, because at the moment it's obviously very bright. So let's tone it down a bit with the vintage photo, and that might just, you know, make everything look a little bit better on there. So just ink that up. Because although I do love those colours, they're maybe a little bit sort of much. Okay. I don't need to worry too much about the centre, because of course it's going to be, you know, covered up with whatever we stick on here anyway. So it's mainly just the edges really that kind of need a bit of extra help. Okay. So I mean, that's toned that down instantly, which, you know, straight away it's a bit more palatable and sort of, you know, less bright and in your face. So I'm just going to ink this up now, and I'm going to do this separately because just in case I decide not to have this on here, you know, I don't want to have kind of created the shape on there. So like that, and then just going to ink up as well this piece here. I mean, obviously this is from some vintage book page, but you know, it maybe is not looking that vintage, if you see what I mean, because it's not really discoloured or anything. So it's from about the 70s, I think. So yeah, it's not like really old. Okay, let's bring that back. Right, I'm still not convinced by this piece here, which looks extremely bright, doesn't it? Now, what are we going to kind of put around? Try and think how we did the canvases. So I've got a book plate here in green tones. I don't know, you know, this might look good, it might look terrible, but let's just try that. Do we like that font or that one? Yeah, I think this was some of the book plate. I just food coloured them. Okay. Wonder if we could have it. I don't know now. Right, let's have a look and see what else we've got laying about that I could just pull in. Now, do you know what else I did the other day was I took this napkin and I decoupaged it onto here, and then over the top of that I also decoupaged on tea bags to bring the napkin way back to a much more vintage colour. It's made it quite weighty because of course there's napkin now decoupaged with tea bag decoupaged on top, but it's cool, isn't it? Because, you know, it barely needs distressing at all now. It's really quite dark. So yeah, that was something I had a bit of a play around with. So I wonder if that would look better on there. It might do. This might be a bit pink. So let me just tear this down. Okay. It's just this section, isn't it, that's like a little bit much. So let me now tear this down, which of course, what a shame, because we're now getting rid of that lovely bird. But okay, I'll just tear across at the bottom as well where it wasn't you know, decoupaged at all. So I wonder if we have that right over, you know, it sort of covers up that bright bit. Well, that's not too bad. Or I wonder if we could have something else here that will just, you know, disguise that slightly. I think, you know, I obviously went wrong really putting that bright colour on. It's a bit too bright. So Oh, let's have a think. Now, shall we... I'm loath really to put any more paint or anything else on it because I'm then going to have to wait for it to dry again, which, you know, so far I've been like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So avoiding that at all costs would be, you know, would be helpful really. But I mean, of course, if I have to do that in the end, then, you know, so be it. Let's just have a look. And I'd bought along a couple of paper dolls just in case we wanted those anywhere. Because, you know, I was going to try and emulate a little bit the style of the canvases that we did. So, yeah, I just thought I would bring along those paper dolls because they may be quite good. Now, I've also got here from my glue book favourites. Now, this is my glue book favourites 3, and I've got this really super cute little piece from a Victorian scrapbook. Now, she is quite pixely. It's not really pixely, I guess, because obviously she's Victorian, but what would the word be? Well, she looks like she's pixely, but whatever version of whatever, you know, however they did their stuff back then. But that's how the original was, you know, that's because she was a piece, you know, a genuine piece from a Victorian scrapbook. So, but I'm just going to cut her out. These have been printed and obviously coffee dyed, so let's just see. I mean, again, she might be just completely the wrong thing, but I just thought we might try her just in case we don't want to have those paper dolls. We could maybe swap them out for this. I don't think this is going to be right, but you know, you never can tell. It's always worth trying. And then I've also got those pansies here, which were part of the glue book 3, glue book favourites 3 as well. And yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying they're going to look right because they're pansies and they might look really strange, but I just thought colour wise they were again quite good, weren't they? So let's just take those off. I mean, she goes really nicely on that napkin. I'm not sure she goes so nicely on that book page. So yeah, probably not her, whereas they look quite good, don't they? I don't know what it is about those paper dolls, but they generally seem to look pretty good on most places, which is weird because, you know, I'd had them for a long time avoiding using them because I thought, how are they going to look well, you know, good on anything. But actually, it transpires they look pretty good on most things. Okay, let's just cut this out. You know, again, I'm not sure how these pansies will look, but I'm going to have to do something about this because I'm not liking that at all. It's just way too bright. So I'm going to go over it with a little bit of the ivory colour, just to, you know, tone it right down. Just get rid of it there as well. Okay. Might have to put a little bit on here as well. Now, it is very annoying because, you know, of course now I've got to just wait a few minutes for it to dry. I mean, not that that's a big ask. It's not going to take very long. But right, knocking other things over now. I've also got these. Right, well, straight away that does look better, doesn't it? So yeah, that was kind of a good thing to do, really. Now what was I doing down here? What was I rummaging around for? Oh, I have no idea. Right. I'm now thinking I need to cover up those bits as well. Eventually I will have just repainted the whole cover. What a joke. What a joke, honestly. Okay, let's just get rid of any bright bits so that I'm not then having to do this again in a few minutes when I've spotted a couple more. Okay, right, let's get rid of all of it. Get rid of anywhere where there's a bit of bright. Okay, right, hopefully, oh, there's another piece up there that I missed. Look. Okay, right, hopefully we are now good to go. Good to go. Right, oops. Luckily, I mean, acrylic paint really doesn't take very long to dry. You know, it's probably nearly dry already, to be honest. Well, dry enough to start working against anyway. And now I don't have to be making sure that I'm smack bang up against the edge, you know. It's okay to sort of have a bit of distance. Whereas before I was like, oh, I must go right up there just to cover it up. So it was worth it. Okay, right. What else have we got? So we've got some of these little price tags, which I've got some in bigger size. Where are they? No, I can't now see them anywhere. I must not have them in bigger size right here. I've got a really big one. Well, let's see how that looks. This might be just too big, but it might be okay. I mean, again, you know, you just never can tell, can you, till you start playing around and putting it there. Okay. And it is quite big. It's obviously like taking over the whole thing, so yeah, it's not great. Not great. Let's bring in my numbers. So again, let's just do a number 5. So these are just like the regular size ones, and then oh, they dropped out at the same time. You've got the larger ones. Might need a larger one actually. Let's have a look. It's really strange because, you know, I thought, oh, we'll do one just like we did the canvases. And for some reason, just knowing it's a junk journal cover instead of a canvas is a little bit disconcerting, and it makes it quite difficult to do. I don't know why that is. You know, why would that make a difference? But yeah, for some reason it's just making it difficult to do. Right, let's ink this up. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping so as we've got, you know, some more interest going on. So let's just get rid of those bits, and then I think what I might do, could even have like a postmark across there. I might do that. So right, let's get, now I have got some violet stays on, which I've hardly used this. I ordered this a while ago and I thought, oh, we'll have some fun with that, and then of course, you know, other things take over and haven't really used it. So I don't think it's like really bright, it's quite subtle, she says, as I then have more things to cover up. Okay, so we'll just do a bit of random script around, and then we'll just have a bit up there and then a bit here. Okay, and then if we put that there, I mean, obviously this is a little bit wet still from the acrylic paint, really. You know, I could have done with waiting a few more minutes, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So I might have that there. Now, do we want something else behind it? Thinking really some more of that lovely vintage newspaper would be good. I wonder if I've got any. No, not that I can see. Well, I have, definitely have. But whether or not it's here, I mean, look at that. Got that titchy piece. I mean, that wasn't really what I was meaning when I said I hope I have a bit. I clearly meant, you know, a bit more than that. But you know, that will do. So let's just, oh, now I'm having glue problems. I mean, I could have just used the Mod Podge, to be honest, to put these bits on, but we'll just go for this. Oh my gosh, now I was looking the other way to see, well, to see whether my Mod Podge was still beside me. And then I ended up poking the pin straight down the side of the glue instead of the nozzle. Okay, right, so we just pop that there like that, and then I'm just going to put this down here. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's having a good day. I hope you're having a better plan with your crafting than I'm having with mine right now. Because yeah, mine is slightly disastrous, but well, hopefully it's going to be nice in the end, so we'll see. We'll see whether it is or not. So that's that. Now I'm going to pull the purple back in, and we're going to just do like a postmark over the number. So that's quite nice, isn't it? I think maybe it was slightly too much over that side, which then, you know, that wasn't quite so good really. So it's sort of better over that side, weirdly. Who knows why? Right. Now she's sat down, that girl, so let's just see what we could have her sat on. Could have her sat on that. And I'm beginning to lose my pretty flowers here. Could have her sat like that. Yeah, right, okay, let's just get some things stuck down here before I can just, you know, dither around anymore, because my gosh, this is, you know, I'm boring myself, so yeah, it must be even more boring for you guys. Okay, so just plenty of glue there. Right, let me just check how this is going to be. So I'm going to have that there, and we'll just press that down. Oh my gosh, that was a horrible noise. Sorry about that. With those doubled up decoupage, so yeah, made it make a horrible noise. So I apologise for that. And then we're going to have this. Now that was kind of tucking under there, which looked really quite cool, I thought. So I'm going to have it like that, so it's kind of tucking in and tucking out. So again, we'll just apply the glue. Yeah, gosh, it's really, really hot up here, I have to say. Like, really sweltering. Okay, so like that. Okay, so that's really nice, isn't it? Now, still I'm undecided as to what else to put on here. So the dolls I think are really nice. Let's just bring them back. I mean, we could have them there really on that page. Well, not page, but you know, more that side, that might be better. Now, where did I put that little memories thing there? Wonder if, well, I was going to say, I wonder if she could sit on there, but then she's covering up the word. I mean, obviously it is, you know, we know what it says, but that's just kind of plain weird, isn't it? To just have her blatantly covering up the word. That's, yeah, probably a step too far, really. That's just too strange. So Right, what have I got here? Again, I mean, these are just things that are floating about on my desk. So let's just try. Yeah, it's really strange. I just thought, let's take the concept of making a canvas and do it in a journal. Little did I know that it was going to be so problematic. I just didn't really think it would be. You know, I thought, well, it's the same, you know, the same concept. How hard can it be? But lo and behold, it's proven to be quite hard for me anyway. Right, let's tear that lady off. So we could have her sat on there. That's not too bad. Now I want something down here. This may be that this is too big. Yeah, I think it is probably too big. We could have a black one. That maybe would, you know, break it up and be something different. So let's try that. Oh, again, I've done hideous cutting now. Ooh, that's quite nice actually. I didn't really think that was going to look that good, but it's quite nice. Though I quite like it everywhere. Quite like it everywhere for some reason. I don't know why. Let's have a look. Okay. I'm still struggling for something down here. Now, I also pulled out, when I came on to do this video, this, which was, you know, some of my food coloured lace. And I thought, oh, perhaps this would be good for this project. So let's just cut a little piece of this. I mean, this may be good, it may be awful. I don't know. Just cut a sort of strip off. Oh, and also don't forget, I haven't inked these bits up where they've obviously been drying, you know, where I've repainted them. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? And then we'll probably have some lace here anyway, covering up where the spine is. So yeah, that might look okay. Now I'm thinking, because we've got that black number, we could even have some black there. So, right, let's ink this up a little bit. I mean, actually, now it's toned down, it doesn't really even need inking particularly. So, if we have that there. Right, I'm just going to glue a couple of these things down. So, let's glue that. Oops. Get my wipe and press that down. And then we're going to have our number to the side. Yeah, I know that I thanked everyone before in my mass making video, but thank you again so much to all those lovely people who've purchased the number tabs. I so appreciate it, and it's just so lovely to see people really enjoying using something. You know, yeah, you know, because obviously you create things hoping people are going to really like them. So I really do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so, so much. It's been very exciting to see so many people using things. Because, I mean, I know I've talked about this before, but, you know, when you do things, it's so exciting when you see somebody do their take on your thing, or, you know, use something like from your digis, or, you know, anything at all. Like if you've done a different pocket and somebody else, you know, uses your idea, it's, you know, it's really exciting, isn't it? So yeah, thank you so much to everybody. I'm really grateful, and I really do appreciate it. I think they're really nice, and they just do seem to go everywhere that you put them. So yeah, I'm really thrilled that everybody seems to be liking them. So thank you very much. Right, so I might have that black flower there. And then of course we said about, you know, we would have sort of lilac lace running down here. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to cut off. This was obviously that neck curtain of my nan's, and it's got a natural, you know, natural point here. So I'm going to just cut along here. I mean, obviously this is now far too long, but it gives me just a starting point. So, okay. Right, let's put that out the way to one side. And I'm just going to ink up this sheet music slightly here. Only because, obviously, if I glue that lace down, I might not be able to get to this little section to be able to, you know, put the lace on there. So, right, because obviously it's quite wide. But that then just finishes that off really nicely, doesn't it? So, yeah, I quite like that. And we'll have that one there. And obviously we're going to have our dolls here. Like that. Okay, so I like how that looks. Oh, about time, I hear you all say. Because, my gosh, that took a long time getting there, didn't it? Yep, it did for me as well. You're not alone. I also thought, my gosh, am I ever going to get to a point where it's, you know, looking kind of how I'd like it? But yeah, try enough times and eventually you'll come up with something that you're vaguely happy with. Right. So I'm going to pop that lace down there. Now I know that is quite wide, but I mean, I don't mind that, to be honest. What do you think? Do you think we should trim that down? Have it not quite so wide, or do we like it being really wide? I'm going to just trim it down here, like in size, so it just makes it slightly easier to work with. So let me put that down behind me. Oh, I should check that I'm still filming and I'm in frame. And I do apologise, my gosh, this video's probably gone on for hours now. Because I've stopped it many times, I have no idea how long I've been filming for. So, yeah, I apologise if this is now endless. Endless, endless, endless. Okay, right. So I've just trimmed it down slightly. So it's still quite wide, but not quite as wide. So, right. Now I'm going to just glue this down here. So I'm going to put some glue here and then, you know, glue it down all across the sort of spine part, and then just a bit here, you know, the other side of that spine. Like that. Okay. I'll just then press that down. You know what I haven't done? My girls are still flapping around, look. So let me just ink them up. Okay. Right, let me move this out the way because, my gosh, I have a lot of things on the table. So they're going to be on there. Yep. Do we like them there? Or do you prefer it without? Oh, let's just go for them. Let's go for them. Okay, let me check. They haven't got any of those little bits waiting to be, you know, popped out. The, what do you call those things? You know, the gaps. Okay. Oh, I've got to go and do the food shopping in a minute, and I hate that job. I haven't been in a supermarket still since the lockdown and all that. I'm not sure I'm going in there now. I've written a list and my son's coming with me, and he's, you know, very kindly said, oh, I'll go in and do the shopping, you know, according to the list. So yeah, he may go in and I might just wait in the car. It just, you know, I don't really want to be anywhere that's really busy. Again, I'm filming ahead, so it might be that this is ages down the line and maybe we're all back to complete normal. I don't know. But at this point, it's very early in our you know, lifting of the lockdown. So I'm not that keen on venturing out and doing the shopping. Right, now I'm thinking maybe have those flowers there. Now, just before I do, I also have, I know you're probably all thinking, oh gosh, she's getting something else out now, and I thought she was about to go. just very quickly, I've been playing some more with dyeing my Hawaiian flowers. So I have a load more here, which I dyed the other day, and I just thought, oh, just before I kind of go for anything, I've got quite a few that are, you know, possibly a good colour match for this. So I just wanted to quickly try a couple before I, you know, make any final decisions. So yeah, let me just pull a couple in. I know that I've got some sort of darker purpley type ones, and I mean, again, I just used up literally every single Hawaiian flower that I had left. I've probably got more, you know, that will suddenly appear from like somewhere. My daughter's probably got a couple of those necklaces hidden in her room or something. But as far as I'm aware, I have used them now. When the weather was nice, well, the weather's still nice, but you know, I thought, oh, I'm going to go out to the garden and quickly just utilise the good weather and do a couple of the flowers. Right, so yeah, I just thought they would be really good on here. They do look good, don't they? You know, I do really like them. So we could have something like that, or I mean, do we think it's better without the black? No, I think it needs the black, weirdly. You know, like for some sort of balance, it does. It's, you know, it's kind of needing it. So right, let's just hot glue that black down, because again, I'm just like going to be here all day otherwise. Okay. So just check that I'm not completely on the fold. Okay, and then we just glue this smaller section. Yeah, I need to get some more coffee today on the shopping list, because I have been doing a ton of coffee dyeing. I was determined to do a lot this summer. I know it's not really even barely the summer, but because last winter it was surprising how quickly my supplies of coffee dyed stuff was running low, and I thought, oh, why didn't I do more? So this year I'm like, I'm going to do tons. So I definitely have enough. So yeah, that's my kind of mission, is buy more coffee and do even more coffee dyeing. Right, what do you think? Do we like that? I'm not sure about that button. Is that button like really ginormous? I know it is ginormous, but is it ginormous and can get away with it? Or is it ginormous and just, you know, ridiculous? Just like, oh gosh, can't get away with that. Again, I'm trying to look for now my flat back pearls, which I'm pretty sure I'm literally down to about my last two of those big size, and I need to get some more. So they're on my list of things to buy. Oops, there we go. Oh my gosh, it's like stuck on everything here. I've even got a glue lid in this jar, would you believe? Yep, that was supposed to be just flat back pearls in there, and now like everything, it's ended up with everything in there. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I wanted to use the button because I don't that often use buttons, but you know, sometimes you just have to go with what looks better, don't you? And not use up the stuff that you were hoping to use. So, oh my gosh. Right, that's that one. And then I'm going to apply the glue, I think, in the centre. Pop that one down. Okay, and then we just put that flat back pearl down there. Okay. Yay! Finally, I hear you say, finally she's done. So that was our cover out of a canvas. So yeah, I hope you like it. I know it took a long time getting there, but I love how that looks. And of course, we're going to marry this up. You know, when I come to use this, I'll sort of marry it up with this side by putting some purpley type things on there as well. But yeah, I really like how it looks. And I hope that, you know, if you've got some stuff to use, maybe you've got some canvases laying around, then, you know, perhaps give them a try. It's sort of a fun way to do a different style cover, I guess. So yep, I hope you like it, and thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I haven't put you off, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.